All right, good evening, and welcome to the Leopard Lair, presented by Straggat Media. I'm your host, John Aljancic, and we are so excited for this show. We've got a lot of things coming at you here, but first of all, we want to thank Dr. Mike Thomas as our main sponsor here at the Lair and all that he does for us, as well as Jared Heller with Leopard Nation and all his coverage of LHS sports. Much appreciated, man. So, well, as we get going here, much like last week, we have a live update, this time from the district championships at the track and field, and we're going to go live to head coach Frank Grimm. Frank, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right. Well, how are things going at districts tonight?
Things are going great. So far, we've qualified a lot of kids to the finals on Friday night. Our 4x800 meter relay team of Colby, Steven, Bobby, and Owen won the district championship in the 4x800 meter relay. They ran 8:01 for the win tonight, which is not their fastest time of the year, but it definitely was good enough for the win. I think they won by 6 seconds tonight. And we have a host of other kids that are getting ready to try to qualify here for the rest of the day. But we are having a great day. We broke the school record again in the 4x100 meter relay, qualifying third. And we have a bunch of individual kids that are getting out as well. We're super happy with the boys team, and things are going great.
Wow, that's wonderful. What did the 4x100, what did they run tonight? Do you know? To set that
4x100 ran, I believe, 43.68.
Wow.
Which, the previous best, I believe, was 43.89. And, of course, it's kind of cold and rainy, but those guys are dialed in. We had a great practice yesterday with our live exchanges. And I'm expecting something spectacular on Friday from those boys.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, make sure you let those guys know that it still stands for me to be racing them at some point. We're just going to try to find time here at the Lair, but we'll let them take care of districts and regionals first.
Hey, in my opinion, you should race them to the table and not on the track.
You know what? Smart man right there, Frank.
You got it.
So, hey, well, thanks a lot for the update.
Thanks,
we really
John.
appreciate it.
Yep, we'll talk to you guys soon. Go Lep.
Have a good night, Frank. All right, well, we're excited to get the show kicked off here after the live update. And first up, back to our softball coach, Kristen Miller, making her second appearance at the Lair. Kristen, thanks for joining us. Sure. And we have beast mode herself, home run, single-season home run record king here, Matti Benson. So, Matti, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, it's good to have you guys here tonight. So, Kristen, let's start with you. When you were here last time, you're kind of in the middle of the season, your first season as a head coach. Now that the season's complete, team finishes 12-13, makes a good run in the tournament, beating Howland in the 7th inning in the sectional finals, and then losing to a really good Fitch team in the district semis. Tell us about that run through the tournament.
They never gave up. So I think the biggest thing they learned was we peaked when we needed to peak, and offensively they never gave up. They won. They beat Howland in the top of the 7th. With 2 outs, and they just kept hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. And then they shut them down defensively. It was awesome. It was really good.
Makes your job a little nicer when they're hitting and hitting and hitting.
They had some grit. I liked it.
So that's fantastic. Well, speaking of grit, Matti, good to have you on tonight. Set the record for the home runs in the single season. But before we get to that, started off very slowly this year. After a very good freshman campaign, now only a sophomore, kind of started off slower for the season. Kind of explain to us the mindset. Cause I'm sure you were a pretty good player growing up, so maybe going through your first slump and working through that. Can you kind of explain to us what your mentality was?
Well, definitely, a slump is something you don't want to go through as a hitter, but it happens. My mentality had to change throughout the season because I came in, pressing, and which was not good, but I came through, I was relaxed. As my season came through, I became more comfortable at what I did and just trusted my mechanics. I saw the ball, I hit it, it was simple, and, that's how I finished my season strong.
Hear those words from my wife a lot. Keep it simple, stupid. But now explain to us from your freshman year to your sophomore year. Was that experience, was it that significant to you coming from that freshman year playing varsity to now being into your sophomore campaign?
Well, I felt like coming in as a freshman, I didn't have much of a standard here, but coming in as a sophomore, I felt like I had a standard after a successful freshman season. So I felt like I had to, keep up to that standard to keep my, my title and my name and keep our team successful. So, that's the way I felt, and it had to change because I wasn't producing the way that I had to.
Okay. Now, Coach Miller, again, finished your first season, a longtime assistant in the softball program. Tell us kind of what you learned throughout that first year. We talked about a little bit the last time we talked about moving one chair over, being the head coach.
Yeah.
But what's the biggest thing you learned throughout the course of these first 25 games of your career?
I learned that I had to continue to push them to keep the energy up. And I just wanted to say, like, Matti did start slow, and I personally think that it will make her a phenomenal player. She's already a phenomenal player, and going through something like that is humbling, and she did come into the season, I think, wanting to match those numbers, and that's not something that any player needs to try to do. And she went through a terrible slump, and she came through and exploded, and just soared. So everyone is super proud of her for that. So as a head coach, I think that I tried everything but doing a cartwheel on third base to get her out of the slump. And eventually I was just like, okay, leave her alone. Nobody talk to her. And we did. And, I even bunted her a few times, just to help her see it. And I found a way to be organized and try to stay crazy and keep them laughing and keep them excited. And it worked. At times it worked. So.
Now, are the girls allowed to talk to her now? I know she wants to have a fun summer
Yes.
with friends. Okay,
Yes.
that's all right. Fair enough. Well, talk about busting out of it, finishing at 470 with 33 RBIs in 25 games, including a big home run against a Hoover team that was undefeated in the Federal League at the time. Tell us through that highlight of beating a team of that caliber in Hoover.
I mean, that's something that you work all off season to make that happen. We brought the energy. We were there, through the first hit, and we really brought that game. And we stepped up. We had people make big plays. People who didn't really touch the ball made outstanding plays. Our defense was locked down. Our pitching was locked down. Our offense brought the bats. So it was a great game to be a part of.
Okay. Now, what's your off season look like? As you get ready for your junior campaign.
Well, off season this summer, I will be traveling on my travel team to get college exposure. That's really about all my summer is, just traveling. And then, through my winter, I will train, and then I will come back my junior year to play for Louisville.
Fantastic. Well, 12 home runs. You set a record. Is the goal to beat that next year?
My goal right now is just see the ball and hit it.
Yes.
That's my goal. My goal is to do my job. Either that's get on base or score my base runners. So that's where my mentality is at, and I'm excited for next season.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, Matti, Coach Miller, we really appreciate you joining us here at the Lair. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, all right, well, up next, we have members of our football team, including Coach Godone, our wide receivers coach, so stay tuned.
Beatty Sports has all of your athletic needs, specializing in corporate, school, and team apparel. In-house custom embroidery and silk screening makes the Beatty Sports tradition of quality and service unbeatable. Go Leopards!
When Superintendent Schaefer, the school board, and new head coach Troy Davis asked me to pick up for Dennis Beery and fund the new scoreboard, I thought it was a daunting task. But we did it. The people in Louisville love the Leopards, and as for Thomas and Associates Dental, we have one thing to say: band, cheerleaders, football team.
right, welcome back to Leopard Lair, presented by Straggat Media. Up next is our football, part of our football program, but before we get to them, we want to go to another live update. And I hear that we have Jared Heller on the line at Andy Aljancic Field at the Dennis Berry Sports Complex. Jared, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Jared. Well, Jared was there to take in our sectional final game where our baseball team took on Struthers. Jared, how'd that go?
Went great. Game was basically over in the first inning when the Leopards got 3 runs in the bottom of the first. Anthony Warner was lights out on the hill for our Leopards tonight. 6 shutout innings, 2 hits, 12 strikeouts. And then Zach Root came on in the 7th inning and struck out 2 more. Key batters were JT Popek, 3 for 4 with an RBI. We also had Cole Miller go 2 for 4 with a pair of RBIs, and his brother Caleb Miller also had an RBI double. So Leopard scored 3 in the first. Had some base runners in the middle innings, but couldn't get a run home. But then they exploded for 5 more runs in the 5th. So sectional champions over at Andy Aljancic Field, and they will play Salem in a rematch of last year's sectional final and the district semifinals at Andy Aljancic Field on Monday.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Jared, thank you very much for the update. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Wow, another strong outing by Anthony Warner. I feel like that guy just continues to throw out shutout innings night in and night out. So congratulations to Coach Brian Warner and the rest of the team, and we look forward to seeing how you do on Monday. So, well, up next, we have Coach Corey Cadone, our wide receiver coach, along with 3 special guys over here, senior Chase Mueller, senior Andrew Essick, and sophomore Cam Doherty. Well, to be, I should say, for all 3 of you guys. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, well, Coach Cadone, how's the off season going so far?
Great. It's going great. We're learning a lot of new stuff, so we're getting together. We're putting it all together. I don't get to the weight room as often as the other coaches, but I see the numbers. I see the gains. These guys are doing a good job and moving in the right direction.
Okay. All right. So, Andrew, let's start off with you. Coming off an injury, tough injury in the preseason last year, didn't get to play as a junior. I know you're chomping at the bit coming up. How's the offseason been for you?
It's been pretty good. Took a while to get back into it, but it's been pretty good off season since I got back into it.
Okay, good. Now, Cam, we had some Leopard football guys on here over the last couple of weeks, and all kind of vying for that weight room belt that's given to guys week in and week out. But only one guy gets to hold the belt, and it seems like you're that guy right now holding the belt. So tell us what it took to earn that belt.
I'd say it took a lot of hard work and perseverance. Had to gut through some hard drills.
Awesome. What was the final drill to kind of put the nail in the coffin?
We had tackling bags, and we had to throw them by each one by one, 50 yards and back to the goal line.
Wow. Sounds like a lot of fun. So, well, good. Sounds like you did it pretty well. So, well done. So,
Thank you.
Now, Chase, starting wide receiver last year, coming in, I know, looking for a big senior campaign. What are the goals and expectations? I know there's a lot of maybe expectations outside the locker room, but in the end, that really doesn't matter. It's really more so of what the guys in the locker room, what they want to achieve, and what they want to, what they believe they can achieve. What's that look like going into your senior year?
Going into the senior year, I think we expect a lot. Coming from that basketball season we just had, I expect to get that far as we did in basketball, and I'm going to use that to help us in the football season, push our guys to be the best we can be. So.
Okay. Now, Coach, new offense going in this year. I know you can't really give us too much, but what are some of the expectations for you on the offensive side of the ball this year? That maybe an offense last year that didn't put up a lot of points, but what's kind of the expectation going into this year and different ways of attacking defenses?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to look pretty different, but I think it fits what we have very well. I mean, you look, there's two backs sitting right there that are big physical guys, and what we're asking out of the tailback, they're going to be able to accomplish. And there's countless other ones that are not here that'll fill in. But I think we're gonna be physical. We're gonna take it to the defense. Not necessarily worrying about what they're going to do to us. They're going to have to adapt to us, and I think, like I said, I think it fits what we do really well, what we have on the roster, and I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Well, this is kind of a special show for me because those three young men over there, I actually got a chance to coach at some point over the last several years. So it's really good to have you guys on the show. What do you each individually want to bring to the team next year that you think is the best way that you can help the team?
I think we need to bring a lot of energy back this year. I feel like it's been down the past couple years. We need to just bring the energy back.
Okay.
I think we just need to bring that Louisville pride that Louisville used to have, and use it in our game. And everybody knows Louisville used to be a power football team, and I think we need to bring that back this year. So.
I think we just need to bring a lot of physicality and be ready for the season.
Okay, cool. Well, everything I've heard in the off season, it sounds like you guys are putting the hard work in, and if what I've learned throughout the years, if you ever want to really excel, and more so really want to accomplish anything that's ever worth it, it doesn't come easy. And so it sounds like you guys are putting the hard work in, and I'm really excited to see what that looks like for 10 weeks this coming fall, and hopefully well beyond that. So last but not least, especially Andrew and Chase, after your senior year, what do you want to take from this next season, and what fingerprint do you want to put on this program?
I mean, I just want the younger guys to know that how leaders should act. I want our group of seniors to be leaders for the underclassmen. The past couple of years, we've had leaders, but I don't think the whole senior class has been leaders, and I think I want them to realize that you need a good leadership to be a winning football team.
I agree with that, and then we just need to end off with a good season for the next class coming up. So.
Okay. Well, Cam Doherty, Andrew Essick, Chase Mueller, Coach Corey Godone, we really appreciate you guys joining the Lair tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, up next, we have a weekly update, so stay tuned.
Beatty Sports has all of your athletic needs, specializing in corporate, school, and team apparel. In-house custom embroidery and silk screening makes the Beatty Sports tradition of quality and service unbeatable. Go Leopards.
When Superintendent Schaefer, the school board, and new head coach Troy Davis asked me to pick up for Dennis Beery and fund the new scoreboard, I thought it was a daunting task. But we did it. The people in Louisville love the Leopards, and as for Thomas & Associates Dental, we have one thing to say: band, cheerleaders, football team.
Media, and I just wanted to let you know about a new and exciting event happening here in Louisville, Ohio, called Second Fridays. This begins in May and goes on until about October. It is every second Friday of the month, and the first one is May 13th from 5 to 10 p.m. There's going to be music, food, and all kinds of artwork and exciting things for you to come and check out. First one's on May 13th, so come and join everyone.
All right, well, welcome back to the Leopard Lair, presented by Straggat Media. I'm your host, John Aljancic, and we really appreciate you tuning in tonight. We just want to take a quick moment and thank, again, Dr. Mike Thomas as our main sponsor here at the Lair, as well as Jared Heller and all that he does at Leopard Nation covering Louisville athletics. So, well, we really appreciate the live updates by Jared from our baseball field, as well as Coach Frank Grimm at the district championships in track and field. So much appreciated. So, well, wrapping up the show is our weekly wrap up. And first off is our baseball team, currently 18-9, fresh off a sectional final win versus Struthers today in Louisville. They'll be next up in action actually this Friday at Berlin Highland for a regular season game. And then they will be back in tournament action in the district semifinals this Monday at 5 p.m., taking on a Salem Quaker team that knocked them out of the tournament last year here in Louisville at Andy Aljancic Park. Again, that's at 5 o'clock this Monday. So next up is our boys lacrosse team, which is currently in a absolute battle. They're currently in the third period in their playoff game against a great St. Vincent St. Mary team, tied 5-5 in the third period, that game being played at Glen Oak Stadium. And then the girls lacrosse team is also in action tonight. They're currently 7-8, and they're in tournament action at Chardon. That game started at 6 p.m., so has not gone final just yet. As we talked about earlier with Coach Miller and Matti Benson about our softball team, their season finished up this past Monday in a district semifinal loss to Austintown Fitch 6-0. So their record finished off at 12-13. Had a kind of a tough start of the season, but really ended with a flurry. So congratulations to Coach Warner and the team. So, and just a note, if you're interested in sponsoring the Leopard Lair, an upcoming show or a team highlight that the Leopard Lair is going to cover, please contact us at straggatmedia@gmail.com. That's once again straggatmedia@gmail.com. Or hit us up on the Leopard Lair Messenger on Facebook as well. So we really appreciate you joining us tonight, and hopefully our boys lacrosse team can pull through tonight, but it'll be exciting to get those updates throughout the night. So once again, I'm John Aljancic. We really appreciate you joining us tonight at the Lair, and congratulations to our upcoming graduating seniors tomorrow night at the stadium. Graduation 7 p.m. You won't want to miss it. So have a good night, everybody, and go Leopards.